had this to say. David Tepper released a statement. He said, "I met with Coach Reich this morning and informed him that he will not continue as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. He said, I want to thank Frank for his dedication and service, and we wish him well." Now, effective immediately, special teams coordinator Chris Tabor will serve as the interim head coach. Now, senior assistant Jim Caldwell will be a special advisor to offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, who will take over play calling duties. Yeah, releasing this statement, and I feel things steamrolled fast, right? They had the reports, and then this statement came out.
Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network put this out about 15 minutes ago on social media, breaking the news, saying that he had heard from sources that Frank Reich was officially out. And then about 5 minutes later, Faith, we got that official statement that you just read from David Tepper and the Carolina Panthers organization. But this, Faith, got to be one of the quickest firings in NFL history. I mean, 11 games into your first season as the head coach of a team. Oh, man, they're definitely a rough go for the Carolina Panthers.
Absolutely, especially people are expecting this to be a big splash. You know, what Reich meant to Charlotte, what Charlotte meant to him. People thought it was going to be a big splash.
He had been the quarterback of the team all those years ago. He had started out with or had played for the Carolina Panthers when the organization was just starting out. And I think a lot of folks were thinking that this was going to be like a new beginning, right?
Yeah.
They had hired Frank Reich. They obviously had GM Scott Fitterer, who's been around for a little bit. David Tepper's been around for a little bit. And they were going to bring in their number one pick, right? And it ended up being Bryce Young. And just so far, nothing has worked according to plan.
Absolutely. I mean, we've polled our viewers, we've polled people, and we've asked them, you know, do they think it's offensive line? Do they think it's a quarterback? A lot of people did say coaching, which points to, I wonder how people are taking this. You know, we've seen social media.
Exactly. And in this day and age, it seems like people want instant gratification.
They do.
People want win now, and they have certainly not won now. They've got that one win that came against the Houston Texans a few weeks back, but most recently they just lost in Nashville to the Tennessee Titans. That was 17-10. It's not like it was like a terrible blowout loss, but still, it was another loss, and that moved them to 1-10 on the season. There were reports, I think you might have seen it on social media too, that David Tepper was not happy after yesterday's game. And of course, you know, who would be happy after another loss? But there were reports that he was fiery after yesterday's game. And then, lo and behold, 24 hours later, we find out that Frank Reich is officially out as the Panthers head coach. Faith, I wanted to pull up that statement again. I know during the live stream we have people come and go, and some folks hop on, listen for a little bit, and then hop off. This is the statement that was released by David Tepper and the Panthers. You want to read it again for folks?
Absolutely. So this is what David Tepper had to say. He said, "I met with Coach Reich this morning and informed him that he will not continue as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. He said, I want to thank Frank for his dedication and service, and we wish him well. Effective immediately, special teams coordinator Chris Tabor will serve as the interim head coach. Senior assistant Jim Caldwell will be a special advisor to offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, who will take over play calling duties." Now, all of this is effective immediately, and I feel like, you know, as much as we're talking now, the season is not over. You know, it's not. We still got some time, still got a few games. I mean, we saw what happened last year. You know, this could be a step in the right direction.
I mean, we saw Steve Wilkes come in as the interim head coach, and obviously David Tepper and the Panthers decided not to move forward with Wilkes as the head coach. They ended up hiring Frank Reich. That has not worked out now, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this new interim situation, and if they'll give, you know, somebody else a shot who's already on the staff, or if they're going to immediately begin their search. Just lost my mic there. If they're immediately going to begin the search for another head coach.
Exactly, because we know it's about the system, right? What are people stepping into? You know, Bryce, he has a lot of potential, but still a lot of people don't know what's unlocked because of this coaching system or whatever you want to say. You know, has he been set up for success is a question that so many people are having out here. So it's a lot of questions moving forward, even after this firing.
I want to pull this up for folks here. We already got the story up on WBTV.com as well. So you can always head over to the website, download the WBTV News app as well. That's where we post updates and breaking news. I believe we already sent out a push alert about the firing of Frank Reich, so you probably got that if you downloaded the WBTV News app and you're somebody who has the push alerts turned on. But you can see that right there. Ian Rappaport was the one, like I said earlier, who had jumped out and put one and done. The Panthers have fired Coach Frank Reich, sources say, moving on before his first season is over. And then, of course, the Panthers made that official with their statement from David Tepper that was released. So Frank Reich out in his first season as the Carolina Panthers head coach. Definitely a story we're going to be following throughout the day. And I know that we're going to have reporters out
Absolutely.
trying to, of course, talk to fans, maybe some business owners, people on the street to get their perspective about this.
So many angles you could take with this story, and I feel like, people in Charlotte, they want to see their city winning. Yeah. So, like I said, this could be a step in the right direction, but only time will tell.
Right.
So, but for now, I guess we know Reich is out.
It feels like we're kind of like rock bottom, right?
We are.
And I
Let's
imagine,
be 1 in 10.
Yeah, and I imagine the diehards at least got to be hopeful that at least changes are happening now.
Absolutely.
And we'll see if this makes a difference. Faith, I've been at WBTV for several years now. I was here when they made that run in 2015, and they made that run to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The energy in the city was completely different. Everybody was so pumped up. You had Ron Rivera as the head coach, Cam Newton leading the charge, as the quarterback, and star players like Greg Olsen and Luke Kuechly, and what we're having, this current iteration of the Panthers is such a far cry from that.
Absolutely. And you see them on the sideline, right? Luke has been at some of the games. Greg Olsen, when he's not busy working, he's supporting the Panthers. A lot of former players want to support and see their team do well that were a part of, like you said, that Super Bowl run. So I feel like the potential is there, but it's a lot of building blocks that need. Right. So that's why this is one step, but I feel like we got a few steps that the Panthers have to make. So it's definitely going to be just interesting to see.
It is. And we've seen the comments on social media. Absolutely. I know you and I both are on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And folks obviously say, Frank Reich, some people might not be happy with him. A lot of folks point the finger at David Tepper, the owner.
They sure do.
Scott Fitter, the general manager.
They sure do.
Bryce Young, the new quarterback. People are saying, hey, is he going to live up to the hype? Is he going to be as good as we thought he was? So this is one move. We'll see if it's the move.
Exactly, because I was going to say, a lot of people, I feel like if we're going in order, a lot of people have been upset with Scott as well, and just like you said, ownership group. What are they doing? How can they make this team better?
Right.
Because you talk about the draft picks. You talk about all these different things that are going into next season. Because like I said,
all pieces of the puzzle.
All
right?
pieces of the puzzle. We still have games left, but I think so many fans, according to social media, are trying to be like, how can we make this better for next season? So, I know.
Faith, I wanted to pull this up one more time. The statement from David Tepper, before we hop off here, but this is the statement from David Tepper and the Carolina Panthers about the big decision today.
Absolutely. So this is what he had to say. He said he met with Coach Reich this morning and informed him that he will not continue as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. He said, I want to thank Frank for his dedication and service, and we wish him well. Effective immediately, special teams coordinator Chris Tabor will serve as our interim head coach. Senior assistant Jim Caldwell will be a special advisor to offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, who will take over play calling duties. Now, as we know, they do have a game coming up. What is that going to look like? We'll have to see Sunday.
The Frank Reich era has come and gone. It was not a long one.
Yeah, and they're taking on Tampa Bay, by the way. So a little division heat there, and we'll see.
You never know if this might ignite a spark with the current guys on the roster.
Absolutely. The defense to me has been a bright spot for me.
Carried the team.
They have.
We'll see if the offense can maybe ramp it up a little bit now.
I know. We'll see. I feel like, are we gonna have Bryce unleashed?
One step at a time, right?
One step at a time, right? Yeah, that's true. So.
Faith, I appreciate obviously you hopping on with me, and
absolutely.
It was, obviously see what happens here. Crazy breaking news on a Monday morning in the world of the NFL. All right, hope you guys have a great day. Be sure to download the WBTV News app. Stay with us on social media and continue checking the website as well. We'll keep you updated on this major breaking story. Have a good day.